Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, where we review stories that beautiful people like yourselves post on the internet. We got two stories for you today. Story 1. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to pay for professional hair, makeup, new shoes, and stay in an expensive Airbnb for my friend's out-of-town wedding? Hi y'all. I'm a 28 female, friend, 30 female, let's call her B, is getting married to her long-distance boyfriend, 28 male, of 6 months. For background, I live in a city about 16-hour drive away from where B lives. However, the groom also lives in a different city from both myself and the bride, somewhere in between the both of us. She will be getting married on her groom's farm in a different state, about 6 hours away from me. A couple of days later, all shit breaks loose when B's first list of requirements emerge in the group chat. Makeup and hair must be professionally done and paid for by BM, $200 for both. We must purchase nude flats and we may not wear heels, around $30 to $50, as she is worried she and her groom will look shorter than us. We must wear the jewelry of her choice. To be fair to her, she said this would be a quote-unquote borrowed gift to us once she decides what look she's going for. Nails must be bare or in the mauve color she has selected for her dress. The dress must be from the local boutique, 16 hours drive or a 3-hour plane flight away from me, and must be floor length with straps. The boutique doesn't ship, but my sister is picking it up and trying it on and sending pics. I texted her explaining I'm traveling for the wedding and I'm happy to pay for the accommodation, airfare, and for the dress, but that if she was requiring professional makeup and specific non-heeled shoes, that she should pay for the extra things she wants. I explained that I am happy to pay for the usual things, but that my budget wouldn't allow for professional hair and makeup and new shoes. She said she would speak to her groom about allowing me to stay on the farm property, but that the makeup was non-negotiable. Fast forward again to today, B texts me and says that she will have to renege on the offer she made to me to let me stay in the farmhouse on the night after the wedding. She reserved an Airbnb in the city, $200 a night for the wedding party. However, she says she will only be paying for the night prior to the wedding. B tells me that she thinks I should stay in the Airbnb that she booked since there is a 2-night minimum and she would like the money back. I politely declined and said I would try to find accommodations in the city for the night after the wedding since there are some reasonable places to stay. I asked if there would be anyone to transport me back to the city since no cabs or public transportation will go there. B says she will not arrange transportation for me unless I stay in the $200 Airbnb and pay her back for the cost of it. She said I may bring a tent or I have to figure it out myself. I'm more than willing to pay for the dress, transportation, and so forth. The cost of being in her wedding right now is $1,256, including all travel expenses, dress, and quote-unquote extras she's asked for. Am I the a-hole? Now the a-hole, get the shoes. That price for shoes is normal, and in fact lower than most shoes for a wedding. The request for specifically color-ranged manicures is also normal. If everyone is wearing understated colors, the last thing you want is one of the party running around with black, purple, and gold-tipped dragon nails. While I get that the bride wants everyone's makeup to be a specific style and match, that is something she should pay for. And that you are traveling out of town to an unfamiliar place, they should be recommending a more reasonable priced venue for you to stay in. $200 a night might be the norm, but for a last-minute announcement, no, I would be dropping out of the wedding also. Now the a-hole, just because someone is getting married doesn't mean that other people can foot the bill for their party. You already made it clear what you're financially capable of doing and what you're willing to do. Not only does it sound like you can't afford this wedding, it sounds like it'll also be hell to navigate between getting the dress that's 19 hours away with no mail service and being hours away from the wedding venue with zero transportation. Your friend's attitude is also trashy. I will drop out of the wedding and send a card. Reply. Yeah, the dress stuff was kind of annoying to me. But I was like, well, If this is the dress she wants, I'll make it happen. There didn't seem to be much of an acknowledgement that I spent $200-ish on a dress and shipping fees for something I would never put on. Although, I did provide my family with my measurements so they can get the correct size according to their chart, so it would probably be fine. She made it clear I was free to resell it, but that dress isn't exactly the diamond of the season, if you know what I mean. No one can or should obligate someone else to spend almost $1,300 and then not at least attempt to help that person out, just because it's her day. You should just take that money and treat yourself to something nice that you want. I will never understand what happens to people planning their weddings and then expecting others to spend thousands, change their appearance, or cater to the stupid and trivial demands in order to be included. If we all got together and refused to show up for these praise the queen parties, maybe they would get the message and stop this crap. Hi again. Since one user said they would summon an interest ghost to haunt me if I was a bridesmaid in this wedding, here's an unsolicited update. After taking a day or two to think it through, I texted my friend and explained to her the following, summarized. I think she's a great friend and we have a lot of great memories together. I was excited to make a new one on her big day. That being said, I couldn't afford the expenses she required, such as professional hair, makeup, specific shoes, and the chosen Airbnb. I explained that the $1,200 it would cost to attend is over my budget, and I simply could not afford the things she's asking for. I don't want to put her in a position where she would be compromising on things she wanted to accommodate my budget, so the best thing for me to do was to bow out of being a bridesmaid right now, so she can have ample time to find a replacement. I also explained that I had some concerns with how I was going to get off the farm after the night of the wedding, since she said she would only offer transport if I stayed in the shared $200 Airbnb. She was unsure who else would be staying there. I said I have to be in a court for a trial 2 days after the wedding, and while I am usually very flexible, I couldn't leave that part to chance since my career is important to me. B responded with the following, summarized. She has been very busy planning her move, doing reports cards, she is a teacher, and planning the wedding. She felt that since I am a lawyer, I should be able to afford everything she's asking for. For reference, I am a very new government lawyer and have massive student debt. She deserves a bridesmaid who will meet her expectations and be able to support her. I am not sure how to respond to her, or if I will, but I do think I dodged a bullet. Or at least a trip to Crazy Town. Thank you so much to all of you who convinced me not to attend this disaster. You have saved me $1,200 and 6 months of horror. Honestly, I wouldn't go to the wedding after her response. It's entitled and shows the kind of person she is and the kind of friend she'll be in the future. If I were you, I'd be tense and awkward at the wedding after this exchange. Like I don't think there's going back from it. And again, it shows who she is, so at the back of my mind, I would always know that. I would reply, I'm on RSVPing and good luck with the wedding. I really just don't get brides who expect their friends and family to drop thousands on the wedding that they didn't plan or have any say in. I'm getting married this fall. I brought the bridesmaids' dresses. How could I expect my friends to buy a dress that they have next to zero say in the color or style? I did have my bridesmaids pick out the style, but still, they may never wear that dress again. I'm not going to make them drop $100 plus on something I'm requesting. I'm paying for hair and makeup. I personally love getting my hair and makeup professionally done, and I want my bridesmaids to have that experience with me the day off. Since I'm the one with the expectation, I'm the one paying. Shoes. I'm just asking that they wear a nice closed-toe shoe in a neutral color. Can be one they already have. I just really don't get how people care so much about one day. Don't get me wrong, we're dropping a decent amount of money on the day, but that's because we have huge families and it's mostly food costs. She felt that since I am a lawyer, I should be able to afford everything she's asking for. Part of me is tempted to suggest that you bill her for the valuable professional time she's forcing you to waste on explaining that lawyer equals automatically rich any more than teacher equals what do you mean you're busy? You get summers off, don't you? But nah, not worth it. Leave her on red and enjoy your newly liberated time and money. Reply: thank you. This was a couple of days ago now, and I waffled between being petty and just taking the win and not responding. I decided I'd better do like you just said and leave her on red and enjoy my liberated time. I am now free of lengthy discussions of shades of mauve. Edit. Wow, thanks everyone. I honestly didn't think anyone would care about my weird wedding story, but I'm grateful for everyone's collective outrage and great advice. Hello guys, if you are enjoying this video so far and you want to be an a-hole to the like button, when they invite you to their house, make sure to walk in with your muddy boots and ruin their carpeted floor. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for kicking a girl out of my bridal party because of how sensitive she was being towards my ideas for dresses? I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I had to post it anyways. By the way, on a throwaway. So I'm getting married soon, 28 female, and one of the most exciting parts of the wedding for me are the bridesmaids and the dresses. I don't consider myself to be a bridezilla, but on my special day, I want everything to be as perfect and coordinated as it could possibly be. So about a week ago, I decided to invite my bridesmaids over so we could discuss dresses and stuff. Let's call the bridesmaid I had the issue with Joy. Before they came over, I already had a nice dress in mind. The dress was burgundy, form-fitting, cut a little above the knees, and had one shoulder strap. I thought it was gorgeous and very feminine for women our age. But Joy and a couple of other girls weren't exactly comfortable, mostly because it was form-fitting. So I let it slide. I really wanted a dress that all the bridesmaids would love and feel comfortable in, but they had to be the same. So the next dress was still burgundy, but it touched the floor, so no slit, and it had spaghetti straps. Everybody loved the dress except for Joy, who claimed that she didn't want to wear the dress because she's insecure about her shoulders. Fair enough. At this point I knew that Joy was going to be difficult to work with, but I kept going because, again, I wanted to be accommodating. I think we went through 5 or 6 more dresses before the last one. The dresses that I showed the bridesmaids were modest in my opinion, and little things were what made Joy not want to wear them. The complaints she had were always something small like, I don't like how the dress shows the toes, then my toes would be out, or my hair isn't long enough to complement those sleeves. Yes, I'm 100% serious. So, the last dress I showed them was a floor-length burgundy dress, loose, had beautiful long sleeves, and the only thing that was keeping it from not being a burgundy maxi dress with long sleeves was the fact that there was a slit that came up to below the knee. It honestly was one of my least favorite dresses out of the ones I chose, but I wanted to try to be accommodating. Again, everyone seemed to agree with the dress except for Joy, who claimed that the slit was a little too provocative for her taste. After this, I was a little frustrated, so I just said we'd try looking at dresses again another time. While the dress were leaving, I pulled Joy aside and explained that I don't think she'd be a good fit for my bridal party because this aspect of the wedding meant a lot to me and her demands were too nitpicky to be a part of the group. But I still wanted her to be at the wedding. She got upset and said that I was excluding her because of her insecurities. I said that I already tried to accommodate her by showing many different style dresses, but she didn't want to hear it and left. So, am I the a-hole? I was a bridesmaid and the dresses my cousin picked for us were strapless. I'm the same as Joy. I hate baring my shoulders because they're kind of wide and lots of acne scarring from puberty. And she wanted our hair up, so no covering the shoulders with my hair. Also, it was a January wedding and she wanted all the bridal pics outside. Know what I did? I wore the damn dress because the day wasn't about me and I really didn't need to look a certain way for anyone but the bride. I totally get feeling majorly insecure, but I understood it was my job to be a bridesmaid for my cousin. It was one day, and pictures can be edited. You gave her a lot of choices, sacrificing your preferences to help everyone feel comfortable. And she still made it about her. You even wanted her to still come to the wedding, and she could wear whatever she wants then. If she has so many insecurities about her body, she should have had the foresight to not agree to be a bridesmaid. Because ultimately, it's up to you what you like them to wear. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. I was of course ready to come in here and vote against Bridezilla, but I don't really think you are. You let your favorite dress go because multiple people weren't comfortable with it. Then, only one person had very nitpicky issues with every other dress. I feel like for a wedding there are some compromises you need to make for the bride. A provocative dress is not okay. A bad material isn't okay. Too form-fitting is not okay. But for things like, my hair isn't long enough for this, or I don't like my shoulders, I find that a little odd. If the dress is comfortable and you can spend the day in it, it should be fine. Possibly NAH, bear with me. You've tried to work with Joy, but she won't work with you. Your feelings are understandable, and the fact that some of Joy's complaints were over really tiny things suggests that this is a matter of vanity rather than insecurity. But it's possible that Joy has serious problems with her appearance and that she genuinely would feel uncomfortable in all those dresses. Rather than kicking her out of her role completely, I wonder if it might help to have a conversation with her first about why she's so self-conscious. Maybe you could reassure her that you think she looks gorgeous in whatever she's wearing, or ask her if there's something else going in her life that's bothering her. You may be able to salvage this situation if both of you are willing to be open and frank with each other. I mean, she might just be an a-hole, in which case you're better off without her in the wedding altogether. But you won't know unless you ask. Edit. I am paying for the dresses. Edit 2. Wow, this blew up more than I expected. I'm trying to read the new comments. There's over 300, which is crazy, and respond to the info comments. But if I missed it, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to respond here to some frequently asked questions and to make some clarifications. I wanted matching dresses because I've seen pictures and videos of weddings where the bridesmaids wore matching dresses and I fell in love with the look. I wanted a unanimous vote instead of majority rules because this is how I looked at it. Say all of the bridesmaids loved this dress but 2 of them didn't, and I picked the dress anyway. I would feel bad if 2 of my bridesmaids felt uncomfortable the whole night because they were overpowered by the others. Joy is one of my friends from college. Yes, we're not the closest like best friends closest, but I still appreciate her, which is why I asked her to be a part of the bridal party. Just to put this out there, my bridesmaids aren't the same, but there's no striking differences that would make me say, wow, these girls can't pull off the same dress. What I mean by that is that I don't have overly tall girls, overly skinny girls, girls with no boobs that can't support a certain dress because they're too big. You get the rest. Also, wanted to put this out there. I didn't choose my bridesmaids because of their body type to match my same dress aesthetic. Just saying that because I feel like someone would accuse me of it. That's just how it was. Edit 3. Oh, I forgot to add something addressing the shawls. I did kind of bring this up while we were looking at dresses, but there were 2 issues with Joy. The first one was that she would veto the dresses no matter what. The second one is that some of her issues didn't even have to deal with anything a shawl would fix. For example, she had a problem with slits, no matter how small, as we saw with the last dress. She would also not care about the shawl and veto the dress entirely. So, I had an overwhelming response to my post about asking if I was the a-hole for kicking a girl out of my bridal party for being sensitive about dresses. And I got a lot of not the a-holes and ESH, and I could see both sides. I understood that I could have handled it better, and I was glad to see that a lot of people also believed that Joy was being a lot to handle. Anyways, I decided to take your advice, and here's some update on the situation for anyone that is interested. So after reading a ton of your comments, I decided to call Joy and invite her over to talk. Luckily, she said yes. By the way, before this, she didn't say she didn't want to be at my wedding, so she was still planning on becoming a guest. And I apologized for kicking her out with no warning, but I laid out my frustrations. She apologized for being really picky about the dress and realized that the attention wasn't going to be on her and it wasn't her day. So it wasn't really appropriate for her to get upset over fine details on the dress. She also revealed to me that this was going to be her first time being a bridesmaid. She doesn't usually wear dresses. She's more of a leggings and sweatshirt type of girl. I took some of you guys' advice again and asked Joy to show me a couple of dresses online she would be comfortable with. Didn't matter what color, I just wanted to see her style. And she searched for about 10 minutes and couldn't find one that she loved. She kind of looked bummed and a little apologetic, so I came up with a plan. The official dress shopping day for the bridesmaids was the next day, and I invited Joy to go with us, to get a feel for the dresses, to see if she would be comfortable. She agreed. So the next day, my girls and I met up at the dress place, tried a couple of dresses, and Joy didn't really like them, even though my other bridesmaids did. Finally, we tried on the fourth dress, which was the one. The girls fell in love with it, and I looked at Joy and she was staring at herself in the mirror, but she had a smile on her face. I came up to her and told her again I didn't mind if she wore a shawl or cover up for some moments, and she nodded and smiled again. Actually, one of my bridesmaids who didn't really know about the situation came up to Joy and told her how gorgeous she looked in the dress. I'm not gonna lie, I shed a couple of tears because they all looked so beautiful. So we found a dress that was matching and all the girls were happy with, and Joy is back in the bridal party. Hope that this was a happy ending that everyone enjoyed. Now for me, I have to go to plan other parts of the wedding with my fiancé. Edit 1. I couldn't find the actual dress, but I did find something very similar online. Edit 2. And thank you guys for all the rewards. I just wanted to say that a little bit of communication can go a long way. I will admit that I was very stressed when helping my bridesmaids with the dresses, but having a simple conversation saved my friendship and my bridal party. I'm so happy. This is the kind of conflict resolution that makes the world a better place. There are too many stories where there is nothing resolved because one is too keen on their quote-unquote justified action. Just because one person is acting unreasonable for a moment doesn't mean that the situation cannot improve. It's great to hear a peaceful ending. Congratulations, good job using your words and talking it out. Communication works wonders. Please enjoy your big day. Thank God that worked out. I do feel bad for her. She probably just doesn't really like dresses and was struggling to find one she felt truly comfortable in, and was expressing this as, I don't like this, I don't like that, because she didn't really know how to express the real problem. It sounds like she really didn't mean to be a pain. She just didn't realize how it was affecting you. You're such a good friend for taking this much time to work through it with her and get to a place where everyone was happy. So many brides would have just ended the friendship over this without digging deeper into the why of it all. Guys, that was it for today's stories. Thank you very much for listening today. Please remember to smash that like button for me and subscribe to our channel to keep listening to these stories.